Listen, I want to tell you that God has called us to go into all the world and preach the gospel. Mark 16:15. Every saved person, one person said, on this side of heaven owes the gospel to every lost person on this side of hell. This is a sobering reality, and so we must make it our life's mission to fulfill the Great Commission, either to be a missionary or to send a missionary. Everyone inside the Christian church is to be in those two categories. You're sending missionaries or you're becoming a missionary. And so missions involves sending the called, teaching the truth, reaching the lost, and finally, and this is where the rubber meets the road, living and giving by faith. Now, look at what it says in verse 12 and 13, because in verse 12, the deputy that saw the miracles and heard the preaching, he believed. He was astonished by the doctrine of the Lord. It wasn't their doctrine, it was the doctrine of the Lord. Now, Paul and his company loosed from Pamphus, which is in Cyprus, and they went to Perga, which is in Pamphylia. So here's a map. This is where they went. They went from Cyprus, then they went to back to modern day Turkey, the middle of that of Asia Minor at that time is what it was called, to preach the gospel into that coastal town of Perga. How did they go? Did they buy a boat? Did they rent a boat? Where did they stay? Hey, Paul, where are you going to stay when you get to Perga? I don't know. But they were obviously sent from the church in Paphos. Here's the interesting thing. Paphos still has good churches in it today that are still sending missionaries, which is kind of cool. But missions requires faith. It was faith for them to go. Verse 13, the company they loosed. The word loosed, it just means let go. They just surrendered. They surrendered enough to let go of the known for the unknown. That's what faith is. And missions requires faith in two categories. One, the faith to give to missionaries. And two, the faith to go as a missionary. And I pray that through this Neighborhoods to Nations emphasis this week, and then it finishes next week, I want to tell you that my prayer is that there would be one or two or even more people who would say, I don't know how it's all going to work out, but I think I should go. I'm going to go be a church planner. I'm going to go be a missionary. I'm going to be someone who's going to take the gospel to the uttermost parts of the world. You say, that's ludicrous. That's crazy. I want to say that Satan's always going to plant these doubts in our minds about what God is going to call us to do. But God always calls us to surrender. And surrender is just the act of letting go. There was a mom who was trying to train her son on how to do the monkey bars at a local park. And he just got really scared and felt like he was a lot higher. You know when you're up there for the first time, you feel like you're a lot higher than you actually are? And so she's like, you're not going to hurt yourself. Just let go of the monkey bars. And he just couldn't until he just launched out. Watch this.
Let go. Let go. All you had to do was let go.
You can almost see it going through in his mind like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Like, should have let go a long time ago, right?